Now if we turn those off and we pop on the new light. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we are finally getting the first real modification for the TRX, and yes, it is going to make the truck look so much cooler, and also it's going to be really functional, so let's just get right into it. The first modification that we're getting done on the TRX, and I know that the wrap is technically a modification, but it's not like a, I don't know, it's not the same, but the first real modification we're getting is the lights on the top of the rack of the TRX. So if you guys didn't see the unveil video with the TRX, they pretty much had it optioned out similar to what I had. They had the beadlock capable wheels, they had the side steps there, and then it had the ram bar, but the ram bar had the lights on it. And so like everything else on this truck is perfect in my opinion, like how it's optioned out and everything, but I definitely wanted the lights on the top just from like an off-road perspective because it's very practical, but then it looks cool. Okay guys, it's definitely worth it because it looks cool, but I don't feel like that warrants a whole video, so like that's gonna be part of the video. The other part of the video, I'm gonna be talking about the options I'd recommend you to get on the TRX if you're gonna order one. So let's get into the options that I'd recommend you to get if you are gonna be ordering a TRX. So the first thing, I'm not exactly sure how you option this out, but I've seen two different colorations on the skid plate for the TRX. I've seen TRXs with the silver skid plate, and I've seen them with this dark gray skid plate. I don't know how that happens. I want you guys to comment down below if you guys know exactly how that gets optioned out on the truck, but I'd recommend the dark gray skid plate. The reason that I'd recommend the dark gray skid plate is it just looks better with the overall theme of the truck. Like if you have a silver skid plate here at the bottom, I don't know, it kind of looks funny, whereas this just kind of like naturally blends in with the truck. So I definitely recommend whatever you have to do to get that in as an option. I would recommend doing that on the truck. Now, the other option that I'd recommend getting is the wheels. So if you're going to be taking this off-road, get the beadlock capable wheels. And if you don't like the coloration on the wheels, then you can always get them powder coated to a different color. So I feel like that's pretty simple. But if you're not going to take it off-road, just get the stock wheels. They're all black, and so then they pretty much match with any color you get in the truck. So if you're going to take it off-road, these wheels. If you're not going to take it off-road, then just get the blacked out wheels. Now, as for the side steps, this one's kind of like a 50-50. So if you're young like me and you can just get into the truck pretty easily, then these off-road side steps are great. They look really cool, and they obviously add a little bit of protection underneath the truck. But if you're a little bit older and it's harder for you to get into the truck, then I'd recommend getting no side steps and then just getting power side steps after the fact, because I mean this is ultimately a Ram crew cab, so you can just add power side steps just like any other vehicle. Now, as for the mirrors, this is the one that might be a little bit controversial. So like ultimately the TRX, yes, it can tow, but it's not really meant for towing, if that makes sense. Like Ram didn't build this truck to go, oh, we're gonna make sure this is a hardcore tow truck. Ram built this truck to make it so that it was a truck with a Hellcat engine that you can take off-road. So as for the mirrors themselves, I'd recommend getting these mirrors. They look a lot better. I mean, like just with the overall aesthetic with the truck, they look a lot cleaner compared to the trailer mirrors. And so I think this is just the route to go from a mirror perspective. I understand if you're going to tow with it all the time, then yeah, the flip up trailer mirrors are fine, but yeah, they just don't look that good at the truck if you ask me. I don't know if keyless entry is standard equipment with the truck or not. And you guys can see I totally ruined the plasti dip on the door handles because of the wash yesterday, and I kind of ruined the wrap a little bit. There's some kind of like crinkles. That's what happens when you have high pressure hot water. I mean, that's the only way you can really get mud off, but you're also going to run that, and it's also because I'm an idiot. Now, as for the ram bar, a lot of people have been like split on the ram bar and whether or not to get this as an option. I would recommend it if you're going to get the lights like what I'm getting. If you're not going to get the lights, don't get the ram bar. Because it's like another $1,000 or something like that, and so I don't think it's worth it. But if you're gonna get the lights like what I'm getting, then it's worth it to get it from the factory, because then it'll be cheaper. And then the tire carrier, I think that this is always worth it as an option, just because it's gonna keep your spare tire clean. You guys can see the spare tire still looks brand new, still looks perfectly clean. And you guys saw my truck in the other video, like it was completely trashed, completely covered in mud. So like I definitely think that is worth it as an option. And then the last thing, I think, I can't remember if bed liner is standard or not, but if it's not, get the bed liner from the factory. This is horribly dirty. And then the bed utility group, another option I would recommend. And then with the LED bed lights, again, I can't remember what's standard and what's not, but I recommend getting that stuff with the truck. Definitely makes it a lot more practical, especially at night. And then with having that to tie stuff down is also nice little thing. So it is a week later and we finally have the lights on the TRX, but more exciting than that, we have two trucks in the driveway and it makes it look like Christmas. We have the bright green TRX, and then we have the Nissan Titan Pro 4X finished in red alert. And guess what? These trucks match even more. They both have Bilstein shocks. That's another thing that's similar to them. And We got racks on the back of both of them. We got the Ram bar, and then we've got the Nissan Titan rack. Like, these basically are twins. It's so cool seeing these next to each other. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's a really cool setup. I'll show you guys the Titan in a second, but let's get into the TRX. Now, you can probably see the lights there at the top of the truck. Completely transforms the look of the truck. Absolutely love it. And if you guys are wondering, I did take the caps off the lights. I'll put these back on so you guys can see what that kind of looks like with the caps on. They just say Mopar on them because, again, it's a Mopar accessory. But just look at that. It's such a cool look. And if you're wondering, well, got to pop into the truck, start it up so I can show you guys the lights. And love the sound of the TRX. I do need to get gas though. I am like right on empty, which is crazy. But they're just plugged into the first auxiliary switch. I feel like I have to yell because the exhaust is so loud. But just the first auxiliary switch button, so just press that, and then that's what will pop the lights on. So now that we have that on, we can look at the lights. Man, that looks so good. And yes, don't worry, I will include a video here in this video of this truck at nighttime so you guys can see what the lights look like at night. But that just looks so clean with the lights on. And actually, I should probably have, let's pop the headlights on so you guys can see kind of the full look here. So let's pop that over into on, and then we'll turn on the fog lights as well. So we can see like all of the lights here. I totally just kicked this. Anyways, so we got the headlights on, the fog lights on, and we've got the lights at the top. That's such a cool look. Like, that looks amazing with the marker lights, everything. Like, could not ask for more. Now, I'm sure you're wondering with these little cap things and why this even has it and all that kind of stuff. So this is really just to protect the lights. I mean, on the back of the rack, there's not really a lot that would actually hit into the lights, but any stray rocks or anything, this would protect that from them. But more importantly, just the sun, any sort of like damage from the sun, like these lights will fade a lot slower because they're under the coverings. So anyways, I've got to figure out how to do this with like one hand. Okay, so I'm like balanced on the side step. All you have to do is just pop it on. They're easier to get on than they are to take off. To take off, you have to like pull on. There we go. You have to pull on either side and then pull it off. So, I mean, it's not too crazy of a procedure, but still easier to put them on than it is to take them off. Now, this is the look with the coverings on, and when the lights are off, it definitely looks better with the little covers over the lights. So I definitely recommend that just from a look perspective. And this is what I've decided. If Chuck Norris drove a truck today, this is the truck he would drive. It has the rack, it has the lights. There's like a 1980s movie where he drove a truck through a mall. Let me know what the movie is in the comment section below. I can't remember the name of it. But this is the truck he'd drive. So I've decided to name my TRX Truck Norris. All horrible jokes aside, this is the Nissan Titan that I'm going to have for a week again, thanks to Nissan. And one of the things I mentioned in one of my videos recently is I love how the skid plate looks from an aesthetic perspective on the Nissan Titan. It's just design-wise one of my favorite skid plates. And the whole front end of this truck, I think, looks so good. And the fact this one has the rack on the back just completes it in my mind. But yeah, this is the truck we'll have for a week. It's got the mud flaps, it's got the rack on the back, and, well, I actually have the window sticker. So you guys can see, fully loaded. This truck's $61,345, which is crazy. And guess what? This truck gets better gas mileage around town than my truck gets on the highway. So by having the Titan for a week, we are going to be saving ourselves some serious money in gas costs. But yeah, this truck, I love it so far, interior-wise and everything. I'm really excited to be able to actually live with this truck for a week and do all the stuff that we're doing content-wise. So yeah, it's tons of fun, but this video is not about the Titan, so yeah. Back to the TRX, and now let's get into what this truck looks like at night. So this is just going to be as a guide to show you guys. So we've got no lights, then we've got the headlights. So that's what the headlights look like, and then we've got the fog lights. You guys can see that the fog lights kind of pop down below, and this is kind of, again, from the driving position. Now if we turn those off and we pop on the new lights, this is the new lights. It is absolutely insane how bright these lights are. Like, it just completely lights up the whole house. So then you can see you get lighting through every single like spectrum in terms of the height range. So you've got the bottom portion, well, the middle portion with the headlights, then you've got the bottom with the fog lights, and now with the rack we have the top, and they are, again, just insanely bright. I hope you guys understand why I didn't want to face the truck towards the road, because these are blindingly bright. The headlights from the factory, those are already extremely bright. I mean, look at that. The fog lights are bright. And then these lights at the top are brighter than all of the lights combined. So yeah, that's why I did that. I mean, look at me, like I'm like fully illuminated here. It is crazy, but it definitely gives it a cool look. So I feel like this field is a good place to show this to you guys. So again, we've got the, well, okay, we'll turn off the fog lights. So we've got just the headlights. Then we've got the headlights with the fog lights. And then I'll turn both of those off. And then we've got the new lights here. So you guys can kind of see the different illumination with all of the lights. And this is perfect. I have my own studio lighting now from the TRX because of how bright the lights are on top of the rack. It's absolutely insane. But I have some exciting news for you guys. So what I have decided to do against my better judgment is I'm going to do a nighttime off-road POV video. Now that I have these lights, I feel like this is just a huge thing for me from a safety perspective, especially like off-roading in general is already pretty risky. Doing it at night pretty much doubles the risk because, I mean, you lose a lot of visibility and yeah, there's just a lot of crazy stuff that can happen. But now that I have these lights and have massive amounts of visibility, I'm gonna try it out. So what I'm gonna do is probably not this weekend, because this weekend we're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff here with the Titan Pro 4X, but instead next weekend, I'm going to take the TRX out and we're gonna off-road it in the middle of the night, and it should be fun. I'm a little bit nervous, but I mean, the lights are extremely bright, so it should be a good time overall. That is going to sum things up for today's video on these lights. Hopefully you guys kind of enjoyed the whole theme of today's video, talking about the options on the TRX and then also the aftermarket accessories that I think you should get. So yes, the lights. Yes, you should also get a wrap on the truck just to protect the paint. And if you guys are wondering, the lights cost about almost $1,000 after installation. I know it's expensive, but it's a Mopar accessory, so reliability is going to be really good with the truck because it was built for the truck, and then also warranty. Like I think it's worth it for the warranty and then the reliability. So yeah, but anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Whenever I see a Raptor in my TRX, all I think is, ha, pleb.